is the wrong thing. There we go. Okay, starting off today, we do have DM versus Psystorm. Now, both teams doing pretty well as well. Okay, DM's doing pretty well, but unfortunately, Psystorm not had the best of showings. It looks like some of their... Wait, no, their games have been recorded. They have only played 2 games so far. DM, of course, played 3. Psystorm had a bye in the first week, so that allows him to get away with that. But you know what? It's going to be a fun matchup. Let's actually have a look at what maps we're going to be seeing. I'm already losing my voice. What the hell is wrong with me? As you can see here, we're going to start with Grand Line SE, move on to Pathfinder, go on to Gladiator, move to Polaris Rhapsody, and then finally move on over to Grand Line SE. That should be a lot of fun. And let's have a look at who's going to be playing today. We're going to have White versus mitak start us off. That's going to be a PvZ. Torsan versus Praise, or Pras, I'm not sure. That's going to be a TVP on Pathfinder. PvZ between Tech and Cold on Gladiator. And Gambito versus Grass, a PvP to possibly finish us off for the set. So that's going to be pretty fun. Let's have a look at the table quickly. Still needs to be ordered properly, but some teams doing very, very well. Urk, one of them at the moment. SK Alpha doing a very good job as well. We should see their 4th series soon. And we do have, in the player status, we do have DM White versus Psystorm's mitak. So that should be a very fun game. Looking forward to seeing this one coming up here. And the map they're going to be playing on is going to be New Empire of the Sun. So let's get some brutal music in here, just so we're not listening to anything. But New Empire of the Sun, pretty cool map. It's been a little bit imbalanced towards Zerg's Protoss so far in this tournament. Wait, I think one of the games didn't record yesterday, because I'm fairly certain Cadenzi did win a ZVP yesterday, so I'm not sure why that didn't save, but I'll fix that later. It's all well and good. I've got a lot of stuff to fix in my database. But let's actually not waste any more time. Let's head on over to the game, and let's get started with the first game of this evening. So let's get going. And yeah, rip to Hongju. He's not been around for a while, but he's here in all of our hearts, and that will never change. But let's go over to the game, and let's get started. Okay, so starting us off in the top right position, we do have the Blue Zerg fighting for Psystorm. It's going to be mitak, or mitak. And his opponent down here in the bottom left position is going to be the yellow Protoss. It's going to be DM's White. Now, this is a cool map for ZVP. So I'm kind of interested to see how both of the players are going to play this out. Of course, mitak is going to be fighting extra hard this game. He does want to get a win on the table for Psystorm, as they are running out of opportunities to make it into the playoffs. This is the 4th week, and there are 3 more weeks worth of games, and every single game is going to matter. Of course, the playoffs going to be the top 2 teams from each group, each playoff, and then just by getting to the playoffs you get some league points to make your way, or to try and help your way into the grand final at the end, or the semi-finals first in stage 2. But you know what, that should be pretty cool. Now, of course, every team going to be wanting to put in a lot of effort. Looks like we're going to have White going for a gateway expand. I believe he did send the road back. Yeah, there we go. Gateway on 10 for him. And it looks like we do have a 9 pool, I believe. Possibly, was that a 12 pool? I'm always really bad at checking the drones. Yeah, it should be pretty fun either way. Hopefully I've not got my mic muted. No, I haven't. I just want to double check, because I did mute it before the cast, just so you didn't hear me typing on my keyboard while I was doing like the last minute preparation, as I always do. I've starting at 8 though, and that works out a little bit better for me. Rather than hanging on until like, before I was hanging on till like 20 past 8 to start. and if they were long games, I wouldn't finish before like half 11, and I'd have like about 20 minutes to get myself ready to sleep. So wasn't all that good, but starting 8 a little bit better. Of course, some days there may be longer games, and you know what? I'll take the hit. I'll sleep a little bit later. Sleep a little bit less. Because you know what, I want to keep the Brood War action coming to you guys throughout the week. I know it's a little bit harder for American viewers to check in at this time, but hopefully they can check out the VODs and everything. The main reason why I do it during the week is there's a lot of tournaments on the weekend, and I don't want to step on anyone's toes, so that's all well and good. Looks like it's going to be a while before mitak is actually going to scout his opponent, not opting to send a drone or anything. But this is quite an interesting wall by white. I don't actually think this is going to be link tight. But here we go, we do have the first cannon coming up at the front. He will need to make sure he does at least have one cannon to with any early lings. And this probe, of course, gonna get out. Possibly even gonna hide something, maybe just go back in for another scout, of course. Lots of different things you can do with the probe early on, but looks like this is going to be pretty standard from both players. Just to start us off, nothing too exciting really happening. Of course, one thing to note is that white has actually gone gateway into forge, into cannon, and there is still no nexus. This probe should be coming back now to build this, but it's going to be a little bit before he has the minerals. Should see him actually go for the to pick up more minerals, but no, he's actually going to add a second cannon on. Now there is a lot of lings here, but is it really going to be enough to do all that much damage? Has he got speed? It looks like he may have, yeah, so speed is done, so it's kind of important he does get the second cannon. This is not a tight wall, but with the zealots, they're going to be able to hold this off, and mitak, if he was planning on going for that early all-in, isn't going to be able to really do too much. And here we go, the second cannon coming up, Nexus on the way, and mitak is going to start the game with a little bit of a... I guess you could say he has an advantage. He does have his second base up a little bit earlier, but of course he did use a lot of those lava to build these things. If you think about it, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is 10. No, this is 12 lings at least. That's 6 lava that could have been drones early game. Of course, you do need lings to help deal with the gateway expand anyway. So maybe this is kind of offset the sort of opportunity cost of having the earlier drones, having the better economy early on, just to make sure he had enough units not to die. That is a fairly important moment in the game. Now, one thing I find kind of cool about this map is they actually made it so the creep extended to this area, because if you think, you could actually block this with one building and severely wall the Zerg player in, and that would be increasingly annoying for them. But you know what? I'm not actually sure who made this map, but they did a pretty good job. It saw play in the STPL season 2010. Of course, this is the new... Well, I'll say that was planned, but I let go of my mouse for a second on the wrong part of the screen. But this is the new version of Empire of the Sun. There was a previous one. I believe the new version actually added this ramp, made this ramp a little bit wider, and I believe it did something with the ramp here as well, because I think this was a little bit wider as well. It's been a while since I played Empire of the Sun 1. But this is new Empire of the Sun, and it's technically classed as 2.0, is the version that they're using. A really cool map in general, but here we go. Looks like we do have the Zealots moving out. +1 attack should not be finished at the moment. He's actually not going for any attack upgrade with this. Kind of surprising, but of course he did get the second Nexus a little bit later, and here we go, we do have a Stargate on the way and a Citadel, but this doesn't really matter. There's a lot of lings coming towards the cannons. They get through the wall, and this is a huge blunder here by white to allow them in, but there is a cannon in the main, so maybe that wasn't as bad as it could have been. And this is a lot of lings that could have been defending against these Zealots. Are just going to march all the way in right now. Looks like we don't actually have a third hatchery yet, so I mean, mitak isn't in the best of positions, but here we go, the Zealots returning the favor, going to run straight past the Sunkens. The Lynx doing the best they can to block, but how on earth is he going to deal with these 5 Zealots in his main? He's building some more Lings, but of course, if the Zealots get a good position, if they maybe go in between the hatchery and the spawning pool here, looks like white's doing a decent job with the Zealot micro, not getting as many hits as he could do though. With these pulled drones, this is a lot of Zealots going down that could otherwise have been behind the minerals. Looks like one of the Zealots is going to try and find his way to attack the Spire, but with 2 Lings attacking him at the time. Wow, actually that's 3 Lings. apparently this was long enough range for the Ling. That was pretty good by mitak, really, really nice hold. And I mean, that's pretty much all of White's army for a little bit, so there's not really going to be anything leaving his base. We do have a second gateway coming up finally, and a Templar Archive Stargate on the way as well. And those Corsairs are going to be extra important as we head further into this game, because, of course... What is that map? Okay. But surely, this is the third... Wait. New Empire of the Sun has been in the map pool 3 weeks now out of 4. Like, surely he must have seen the map at some point, right? You know, I gotta have faith that, like, I know some of the teams are actually practicing pretty hard for this, and they're putting a lot of work into looking at the different maps, trying to find strategies that would work. I know that IRK, Aga has been doing a lot of work looking, and same with Seoul's Fujikura as well. They've been looking at a lot of what the other players are doing, or the other teams are doing strategy-wise, what players they're sending out, and what maps the players are likely to go out on, and I think that's paid off pretty well for them so far. They've put in a very, very strong showing. These Mulists look like they are going to be moving across the map with some Scourge as well to try and snipe that early Corsair. But of course, it's not really going to be too much early on to defend. There is a cannon in the main. Does he have Storm yet? He doesn't have the energy for it, so I don't think he will do. Probably going to see an Archon here. And apparently this is an old map. DMY, I want to point out to you that this map is from 2010. Man, 2010 is not old in terms of Brood War. 1998 is old. The maps that Rota's got in his weird map league, they are old. Like, he's got some of the like map of the week maps from the old Blizzard ladder. Like, that's how old those maps are. This is basically, if we were using the analogy of like a school child, like, I guess this would be like a high school map. And then obviously the ASL maps are like college or university maps. Then you have like the elementary school maps, which are like Lost Temple, you know? And then you have play school maps like the ones that Rota hosts in his league, but still not really too much going on. I mean, looks like we do have a pretty good amount of Corsairs now. 5 Corsairs. Oh, I don't know how on earth those Scourge didn't do anything, but they did not react in time. But the probes, there is a trap probe, but he's not really stacking properly. But here we go, finally the stacking does come into effect. That's going to allow him to be a little bit more efficient with his Corsairs, does allow them all to attack at the same time. Makes them a little bit harder to target as well. But there's a lot of Mutas flying into the main. There is a single Archon here. But these guys, they move very, very slowly, and the probes are actually getting in the way. But that's a huge shot on the Mutas. The Mutalist just out of range. And that Archon does not know where to attack. He goes down only getting 2 kills. And interestingly, White, knowing that all the Mutalists were here, actually sends his Corsairs to the other side of the map. But he's going to send them back now. He needs to. How is the defense going to be? A lot of Scourge going down on the Corsairs. But this is a lot of Corsairs and not many Mutalists. But the spread is absolutely fantastic here. And it looks like mitak may have done enough damage. A lot of probes have gone down. Oh, that's a great storm though, killing a few of his own probes, but does get most of the units there. Now, of course, mitak in doing this Mutalisk attack has very, very few drones. There could be some more drones popping out this base as well. And this third base may look like it's going to go down. We do have 1 Mutalisk left. Out of that initial flock, there are some more flying in, and only 1 Corsair does remain. And it's very, very low on health. But here we go. The Zealots have taken down that third base. And they are going to look to push forward into the natural. Do we have any defense there whatsoever? 4 Sunkens, that may be enough. But look how low the drone count is for mitak. And here we go. The Mutalists are coming back in. There is no cannons up right now. Looks like they're all going to be cancelled before they can finish. And it looks like poor White is going to have to rely on... Oh, fantastic storm, doing a lot of damage to the Mutalists there, and going to allow his few Corsairs to really do the damage they need, but another 2 Scourge going to clean that up. It looks like the Zealots have actually been left idle. White doing a lot of multitasking in his main, just trying to keep himself alive right now. Nice storm on the Mutalists, so that's got to be about 6 kills, 10 kills on this High Templar. Lag is called by mitak. Unfortunately, I believe mitak may be European, and I believe White is from South America. But, I mean, in case of replays, we can't really see the lag, so hopefully it wasn't too bad. But that was a lot of Muteless dead to that one storm, so really, really nicely done. Looks like the Corsair trying to micro back and forth. Oh, an Archon on top of the Muteless here. This could do a lot of damage as well. They do pull away. Gonna go for that poor High Templar, but he suicides and takes out another 3 Muteless with him. What a hero! That guy has got a medal on Ire right now. The Archon as well, getting 3 kills to finish that off. But more and more Muteless flooding in from the middle of the map here, across from the bases. It looks like this Muteless harassment is not going to end anytime soon. But he's going to have to be careful. The Zealots do now have +1 attack. +1 armor is done for the Muteless, of course, but that's not going to help them against a ground army. He's going to have to rely on just these sunken colonies if he does want to hold on. But White is doing a really good job making sure that there's no hidden Zerg bases here. Going to be very, very important for him to do. Now, where are the Muteless gone? Here they are. They're searching around for those Zealots. He does know they're out on the map. And the Zealots are actually going to find this drone. Are they going to be able to target it? Does he notice? He does not notice. He needs to send them back or that base is going to go up. But it looks like he is just going to try and send them home. We do have some Zealots moving over to the previous third base just to see if they can get any damage on there. But the hatchery has not been rebuilt. And it looks like mitak gonna slowly start to regain control of the center of the map. A lot of the Zealots actually going back to the bottom right. Unfortunately for him, he did miss the drone on his mini-map. And all of these Zealots are actually just going to run into the Mutelisks, so not great for him. Looks like he may have had them all on one hotkey there. I didn't split them off very well. Looks like he actually wanted to try and take the bottom right with his probe. But unfortunately for him, not really going to be able to do too much. These Mulists should be doing a lot of damage to these Zealots now. But of course there will be storms back at home. There's 2 storms on this Templar, 1 storm here. And we've seen how devastating White storms have been so far. Can he get them again? 2 Corsairs are all that remains from that Corsair fleet. They've actually been rebuilt at this point. But looks at, oh, nice storm going down, doing a lot of damage. And dodging the storm with his Corsair is very important to do. And now, unfortunately for him, he doesn't have this probe trapped anymore, so he's going to have to be a little bit more careful with the Corsairs. Makes it a lot harder to actually do any stacking or anything like that without a probe stuck. I mean, you can do, but then you have a probe running around the map, so it makes it a little bit more annoying. But looks like the Zealots are going to head up to the top left again, and all they're going to find is a couple of creep colonies. He is going to hit himself when he notices that this base has come back up, because he does know that he was there just a moment ago, and if he looks at when this finished, I mean, he should probably be able to tell when this went up. So unfortunately he's not going to be able to do too much, but this is a lot of Mulists coming in from mitak here. Do we have any Hive? Do we have a Great Aspire coming in? We do have a Hive. It's going to be a while before Great Aspire comes in, of course. No +1 attack, weirdly, on the Mutalists. I'm kind of surprised by that decision, given the fact he is adding so many Mutalists here. He's pretty much relying on all of them. Oh my god, this could be a Maelstrom. Not enough energy, though. That Dark Archon is in the wrong place at the wrong time, but this is a huge storm on that Templar. 4 kills for him. He can actually storm again, but the Corsair's doing so much damage as well. And here we go, there's a lot of Zealots in the third base of mitak. Gonna be trying to take down this hatchery that was morphing into a lair to try and keep it alive, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to have to cancel it. And this base is going on. Another great storm by this Templar. 11 kills on this little dude. Like, he has put it in work here. And the Corsair are going to go for an Overlord. And mitak, once again, finds himself trapped on 3 bases. And I see what you mean, Rapid. I kind of wanted to see a mind control there as well. But you know what? I think it costs like 150 energy to do a mind control. So it's kind of insane. And I think it's 150 energy or 100 and you lose all the shields. So kind of makes the Archon a sitting target. But of course we do have the third base coming up for White now. There is not really that many units left on the field. There is 8 Mutalists now, but not too much of anything else, and those 8 Mutalists are going to take absolutely forever to kill any of this here. Now, what is the Dark Archon do? Of course he does have enough energy for Maelstrom. Is he going to get it? Is he going to go for the Maelstrom? He does! The Maelstrom goes down! There's no storm! There's a storm now! And that is absolutely huge, killing all of the remaining units of mitak. And this is going to be the push that ends the game. A storm on the drones as well, just to add insult to injury, and GG, amigo! mitak is going to go out to White in the first game. And they're both sitting here. What? They're not leaving. The replay's not over. Oh man, what are they doing? Oh, bad for the game. Too much lag. Oh man. That's unfortunate. But we did see a Maelstrom and, yeah, distance. There's not really too much you can do. But GG Amigo. They're still talking. Blizzvolt. You. Good luck. Haha. But you know what? I think we're going to see the Zerg player eliminated. He doesn't want to really leave the game. What? Oh man, some BM coming out from the Amigo there. He does finally leave the game. And unfortunately for pSi, that is going to be their first loss in